Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. Today, we are commemorating Today we are commemorating International Stuttering Awareness Day in US. International Stuttering Day is observed annually on October 22nd. Stuttering is a communication disorder in which repetitions or abnormal stoppages or sounds and syllables break the flow of speech. They may be unusual facial and body movements associated with speaking. International Stuttering Awareness Day shines a helpful spotlight on stutters and educates the public about the causes. Established in 1998, International Stuttering Awareness Day seeks to raise awareness about the millions of people around the world about one person living with specific communication disorder. Usually, when people refer to stuttering, they imagine the repetition of a specific word. However, stuttering comes in many other forms, including elongation of vowel or syllable. This condition is also variable, meaning that the severity of the stutter is inconsistent. Some days a person might only stutter a few times, while others, the stutter may affect most of their interactions. People who stutter have been mistreated for a long time because of lack of knowledge as concerns this disorder. In the 19th century, Europe, surgery has been recommended for people impacted by speech disorder. Surgeons would use scissors to remove a triangular wedge from the back of the tongue, as well as cutting nerves and muscles in the neck and lips. Other surgeons practice shortening the uvula or removing the tonsils. These practices were later abandoned. Patients were bleeding to death, and those who survived still had their stutter. So though it is now understood that stuttering is a neurological disorder that can be developmental, obtained as a child, or acquired develop as an adult due to trauma or drug abuse, there is still an air of stigma that follows those who live with it. The International Stuttering Awareness Day educates yourself on the condition, even as we recognize contributions made by stutterers in science, politics, philosophy, art, cinema, and music, and so on, in various other fields. In 1940, a myth was disproved. Most studies reject the popular early 20th century theory that forcing a left handed child to become right handed causes stammering. In her book, I Was Winston Churchill's Personal Secretary, Phyllis Moyer mentioned that Churchill grew up with a stutter in 1941. Malcolm Fraser founded what is not known as Stuttering Foundation. Sorry, uh, Malcolm Fraser found what is now known as Stuttering Foundation of America. Stuttering Foundation of America, which was founded in 1947. International Stuttering Association is set out to provide help support to those who stammer all over the world in 1995. International Stuttering Awareness Day is designated as a day set aside annually to raise public stuttering of October 22. King George VI took years of speech therapy from an Australian actor to overcome his stutter and gain confidence in public speaking. In 2010, the British government announced the Defence Stammering Network to support troops with neurological condition in 2015. There is no real cure for stuttering, but there are speech therapy classes for those looking for ways to manage the disorder. However, it was not 100% guaranteed that they will always work. Children will sometimes lose their stutter as they go through puberty or enter adulthood, while adults who have never stuttered through childhood may develop a stutter in later life. Stuttering, which is a neurological speech disorder that can be obtained genetically or through trauma that affects the brain. Although stuttering is incurable, speech language pathologists use a multi-phase treatment with numerous techniques to aid persons who stutter. Stuttering usually begins between the ages of 2 and 7. However, it can occur at any point in a child's life. Other life changes, such as having a new sibling for the first time and entering a new school, may cause a child to start stuttering. Both stuttering and stammering are interchangeable terms for the same disorder. The term stuttering is widely used in the US, while stammering is more prevalent in the UK. So, stutterers suffer from social stigma that can lead to bullying in children and ostracism in adults. Through the resources provided by the International Stuttering Awareness Day, individuals and families can learn more about how to support those with a stutter and decrease the stigma that surrounds it. Each year, the International Stuttering Association hosts an online event to mark International Stuttering Awareness Day. The public is free to participate in the online event, which focuses on different themes every year and brings together individuals from around the world. When dealing with people who stammer, it is important to empathize with them, learn how to interact by not finishing their sentences, making eye contact, and not urging them to take breath or slow down. You may also ask questions of the individual being questioned agrees, learn to interact, to stammer or stutter. So, though it may sound like a person is failing over their words or falling over their words, being nervous is not the main cause of stuttering. Instead of telling people who stutter to take a deep breath, patiently wait for them to get to the end of their sentence without cutting them off. Shyness may cause stutters to speak less, but it is not an underlying cause of stuttering. People who stutter might be afraid of judgment, so show them they can trust you by giving them the same amount of attention you would to those who don't stutter. Stuttering is a neurological condition, not a habit that can be easily broken. Though people who stutter may enroll in speech therapy classes, these classes are more so to build confidence in their speech rather than promise to cure the condition. Lots of smart people have stutters. Although stuttering is linked to a specific area of the brain, it doesn't affect a person's intelligence. While bad parenting might make a child stuttering worse, it is not the root cause of stuttering. However, if you believe a child is in a dangerous situation, don't hesitate to contact the police. So, stuttering is misunderstood. There are many myths surrounding stuttering and those who live with the condition. For example, contrary to what many think, it is not caused by nervousness or shyness. So, International Stuttering Day Awareness Day or International Stuttering Awareness Day educates the public about stuttering and thereby diminishes the stigma. It provides assistance. International Stuttering Awareness Day provides hope to people who stutter, showing them they are not alone. And by providing them with resources to improve their speech, it connects individuals with research and speech pathologists. It's a community. The National Stuttering Association is a community of people who share their challenges and stories with each other. By attending events and workshops, often delivered through local chapters, those who stutter can meet and learn from others with similar ideas. Today is also commemorated as International Caps Lock Day that needs 2 days of calendar to be given its due. Software developer Derek Arnold created the original day to poke fun at typographical conventions, but it became the day we provoke internet friends and colleagues and raise awareness that writing in all caps is not proper etiquette. Arnold added the second day in honor of Boardwalk Bread Billy Mays, the as seen on TV pitchman who worked with his volume up, so push the caps lock key down and give somebody a shout out. So it was 2000 when Derek Arnold, a software developer in Iowa, chose October 22nd as the day when everyone should press the caps lock key and type only in uppercase letters. He said International Caps Lock Day is in fact a testament to the small-mindedness of certain Western individuals. The majority of the world population writes in script which have no concept of letter casing. Therefore, it is advised not to laugh at anyone who invokes this day as an excuse to dismiss local typographical conventions. They are simply making an ass out of themselves. Arnold sent a tongue-in-cheek message to everyone who accidentally fat fingers the caps lock key in daily life. You're gonna wear the same thing you wore to Becky's wedding, to Madison's wedding, or in a professional communications on the job, just checking in to see whether you are going to have the amalgamated marshmallow systems proposal ready by 10 a.m. this morning. So he wanted to remind us that the uppercase letters look like shouting, which is not nice because the recipients of our communications can't gauge our volume or see our facial expression or body language. They can easily interrupt our caps as anger, which also is not considered nice. Before computers and shift Most typewriters only produced capital letters way back in the olden days. During the 1870s, typewriter manufacturer Remington figured out an economical way to type both upper and lowercase letters. It did so by placing two symbols or letters such as upper and lowercase on each type bar. The piece of metal that struck the letters onto the paper. To switch between the symbols, writers used a shift key which physically moved the entire space types bar apparatus. Now, some people call the caps lock key the Billy Mays key, a reference to the infomerical icon with the booming voice who exhorted us to call the 800 number and buy now. So when Mays died on June 28, 2009, Arnold paid homage by adding a second, albeit secondary, day for celebrating International Caps Locks Day to the calendar. So Remington introduces typewriter featuring the first QWERTY keyboard invented by Christopher Latham Scholes and Carios Glidden, and it types only in uppercase letters in big words in 1874. The Remington number 2, which can type in both upper and lowercase letters, debuts in 1878. The Protecting Co., a workplace risk assessment firm in the UK, compiles a list of reasons for terminations that include sending mails to customers all uppercase letters using a font in lilac. The pink slips were given in 2015. Now you might be wondering, where is the caps lock key? The caps lock key is located above the shift key, next to A on the keyboard. On QWERTY keyboards, you can see we have one caps lock, and there is also a caps lock light. A blinking caps lock key can sometimes mean there is an issue with your battery or AC adapter. And again, it depends on the model. If the power reset and clearing your computer's ventilation doesn't not work, you may need to take your computer for servicing or attempt or replace your battery, AC adapter or power supply on. Again, it depends on model to model. If you ever need to use text in all uppercases like today, this will work as well. Highlight the text, then press Shift plus F3 until the text appears in all uppercase. And this is an added tip. If you press Control and Shift plus K, the text will revert to small caps, or just don't turn it off. And the corresponding with everyone in caps lock for international caps lock. So practice just in case, try changing the case of large blocks of text by plugging into convertcase.net. A handy conversion tool, you can make uppercase, lowercase, sentence case, title case, capitalized case, and alternating case. You can also do it in a word processing software like Word, OpenOffice, and any such office word processing softwares. Go ahead and post a tweet in your uppercase and see what the reaction you get. Email and see if you feel something that could legitimately be classified as passive aggression. This is the day to hit the caps lock on purpose, even if you are not really enraged, but maybe think about it before you reply to someone like your boss. So an acronym is abbreviation formed from the initial letters of the words in the name or phrase and pronounced as a word. Have you noticed how many acronyms there are? Make a list like AWL, POTUS, FUBAR, MADD, SWAT, AIDS, GIF, RADAR, SCUBA. Like that. You may have many acronyms. You may know. So the keys used most are the delete key, the space bar, and the lettering. These are the most used keys on keyboards. Early typewriters keyboard substituted a lowercase l and an uppercase o for the numbers 1 and 0. There are keyboards made for the left hand only and for the right hand only. So when you are left-handed, make sure you ask for a left-handed keyboard. Of course, the universal keyboard can be used both by left hand and right hand. There are novelty keyboards. In 2009, Data Mancer made a keyboard of Scrabble titles. A corded keyboard or key set allows you to form characters by pressing several keys together, as in playing chords on a piano. So, do you have a hair trigger temper? Do you scream at the creep in Mazda and just cut off instead of giving him the finger? Go home, hit the caps lock, and tell you, buddy, all about it. An IT guy in Iowa created International Caps Lock Day, then felt okay about adding a second piece to it. So, it's more than 6 months apart. If we can't do that, what can you do? It affirms our power. So use this day to teach your kids about proper use of uppercase letters. Introduce them to the concept of style blocks like one from the Associated Press. It's a teaching moment. Today is commemorated as Mascara Festival in Philippines, which is an annual festival held in Bacolod, Philippines, culminating on the fourth Sunday in October. It takes place on October 22nd this year. As one of the nation's biggest festivals, it has been known as a time for locals and foreigners to have fun, drink, and party on the streets for over 40 years. Starting in 1980, the Mascara Festival was born out of a crisis and tragedy when prices of sugar, the primarily livelihood source, were at an all-time low. Besides this, a tragic ferry incident happened this year, and the Mascara Festival was held to lift the spirit of the locals. The Mascara Festival started in 1980 during the dictatorship of late President Ferdinand Marcos. The prices of sugar, the province's main agricultural crop and livelihood source, were at a record low following the introduction of sugar alternatives into the market. Consequently, two artists came up with the idea of promoting mask making as an alternative source of income for the locals. In the same year, a tragic ferry incident occurred. The MV Don Jusan sank, resulting in the deaths of many people from the province. The Mascara Festival was then created to bring back smiles and uplift local spirits during those difficult times. The smiling masks used in the festival were a declaration of Bacolod locals' resilience in the face of challenges and tragedy, prompting the city to become known as the City of Smiles. The festival name is portmanteau of the words mas, many, and cara, means faces, thus forming Mascara, that is many faces, or the festival of many faces. Before the festival, the masks were sold to tourists as the province's signature souvenirs since the celebration inception. However, the smiling masks have become a symbol of exciting festival. The highlight of the Mascara Festival is a dance competition where participants don colorful costumes and vibrant smiling masks and dance to Latin music. Besides this, there is Bacolod's biggest street party, Electric Mascara, at the most awaited festival events. The night parade features LED lit dances, bands, and floats. Other activities include the Mascara Festival, Queen Beauty Pageant, food festivals, and float parade. The festival, flooded by locals and tourists, is renowned for its colorful decorations and masks. Most people in Bacolod speak Hiligaynon, while others speak Sebiono. Today is also commemorated as National Color Festival in the US, gives a chance to drop and reflect on the relationship we share with the colors that surround us and innumerable ways in which they impact us. How long has it been since you stopped by a garden to admire a yellow sunflower or gazed at the deep blue sky? Or we invite you to celebrate the power of colors today. National Color Day celebrates and enlightens people about the significance attached to each color. Humans have always shared a deep relationship with the colors that surround them. As we grow up, our tastes evolve, so does our association with the things that once we like, but the omnipresent element of the nature hardly gets its due recognition. National Color Day is celebrated to recognize the duality of our relationship with colors and often use colors to our benefit. But we seldom talk about power and influence that our chosen color has our mood, stage of mind, and attention span. The right color can enhance your beauty, and the wrong one can ruin a photograph. Our brains associate colors with memories and shape our experiences of melancholy and trauma. Much of the impact that a color can have on us is based on our biology. And then there's our personal relationship with colors. The advertising industry reaps great benefits from the color theory, which illustrates our predisposition to some colors. For example, a combination of red and yellow can stimulate our brain, a concept that reflects on the logos of McDonald's, Netflix, KFC, and Target. Launched by General Motors in 2009 as part of promotion for a brand new Chevrolet, National Color Day has been celebrated ever since. Sir Isaac Newton discovers the visible spectrum of light and studies the impact of color for the first time on the color wheel in 1700. Artist Johann Wolfgang von Goethe explores the psychological aspects of colors and lays the foundation for the color theory in 1810. French photographer Jules Dubs invents the colorimeter to measure the wavelengths observed by a particle in 1870. American painter Alfred Munsell invents the photometer to measure luminance, that is, the color value of an object, in 1898. According to a survey, yellow is the most unpopular color with a fan base of just 5% in the West. Rods and cones are the two types of cells in the human eye determine what color we see. Wavelengths of a color matter as much as our own absorption of it, because 90% of the color we interpret is based on our memory. So the dress is actually blue and black. Due to blue light being over-presented by the shadows, many people see it as white and gold. So indulging in arts and crafts and painting in particular has tremendous benefits. It has more than stroking a brush on paper. Painting forces you to connect your body to your mind. So October 22nd is a great day to reconnect with your inner self. Mix magenta with yellow and you get red. Combine red and green, you get a shade of yellow. Colors are nothing but a big group project. The National Color Day, educate yourself about how these shades came into existence, and don't be afraid to get your hands colored in the process. Many will advise you to rock your best colors on National Color Day, but not us, because we believe in embracing change. This year, peep into your closet, pick out a piece of clothing you would never dare to wear, and step out of your comfort zone. Blue is the warmest color according to the study and most popular color, with 40% of the people picking it as their favorite. Red is the first color that an infant can see, as it has the longest wavelength. The color pink relieves anxiety and stress because of the calming effect and palliative qualities. Fixing your gaze on the color yellow can cause nausea, whereas staring at green can calm your mind. Bulls can't even recognize the color red, let alone be triggered by it. It's the movement of the muleta that angers them. And bulls' hatred is a lie. The hustle and bustle of daily life, we make miss out the most latent wonders of the world. When was the last time you marveled at many wonders of nature that surround us? So it is a day to stop and appreciate the blue sky. Step out of grays and blacks and explore world of magenta and orange. Today is also commemorated as National Make a Dogs Day in US to ensure that dogs around us enjoy themselves as best as possible. This is a day to spread information about dogs' importance in our lives and how much they can improve our days with love and loyalty. We use this day to encourage people to adopt from shelters and provide a better life for at least one puppy. We mean the world for a dog, and it's time to ensure they get everything they deserve. A best friend, a loyal companion, a ferocious protector, and an eternal guardian's dog's work is something that we cannot replicate. Dogs have been with us for a long time. They were once wolves who roamed the forest and savannas when we were cave dwelling hunters. Wolves used to scavenge on the remains of ancient human hunts. They slowly started to follow us for food. But some wolves realized they have much to gain from humans if they can subdue their wild side and be it a more docile. This is the beginning of evolution of dogs. As the wolves lost their wild side, they started to adopt humans. Though they were similar, smaller, and domestic, dogs still pack a punch similar to wolves. They ensured that we are safe and other predators were not stealing our food. Over time, we breed more varieties of dogs to suit our needs, and now we have hunters, guardians, lap dogs, shepherds, etc. Today is also commemorated as National Mother-in-Law Day in US. Mother-in-law has a special place in our lives, whether they are helping with the kids or supporting us when our own parents are unavailable. These second moms are always there to help contribute and sometimes lovingly criticize. Bringing two families together isn't easy. On National Mother-in-Law Day, take some time to appreciate the mother-in-law in your life, whether you have one of your own or know some women who are mother-in-law themselves. If you have married kids of your own, take this special day to treat yourself. In-laws of course, have been around as long as the marriage has. Until recently, the status of one's parents and family played an even more important role in marriage arrangements than the relationship between bride and groom. Society expected that in-laws would have heavy involvement in the lives of their adult children. By the 1920s, American attitudes towards the in-law relationship shifted. Young people were encouraged to break with their parents and forge their own path as a couple. The stereotype of the meddling mother-in-law was born. Since then, research shows that women in particular have strained relationships with their mother-in-laws, with 60% of the married American women experiencing stress related to their mother-in-laws. In most countries, in-laws have legal obligations to each other because of their relationship through marriage, also known as affinity in law and anthropology. The relationship formed by the marriage of family members have been historically fraught, spawning an entire gene of mother-in-law jokes and infamous literary and film characters bringing two families together, whether in highly intimate or more loosely connected situations. create feelings of uncertainty and insecurity. After all, these new secondary relationships affect our primary relationship with the important person in our life. Today is also commemorated as National Scar Appreciation Day in US. This day is observed to appreciate and accept the scars we have gotten and move on from mental trauma and pain memories that caused the scars. Scars may not be beautiful sight, but scars reassure us that we can endure and we can heal. Each scar has a different story: accidents, trauma, organ transplant, surgery, assault. This is a day to explore scars. Scars were once a proud symbol of power, struggle, sacrifice, and endurance. We humans started our revolutionary journey as hunter gatherers. Being a hunter is no easy task. It's a life where physical injuries are common. Most injuries, if not fatal, leave a scar. Some of these scars heal over time, while others stay there permanently. But as we move from a hunter gatherer into farmer's life, the number of scars from our ancestors decrease. We have reached a time when only warriors will have scars, and some cultures started intentionally scarring the skin for a fearsome status and reputation. The modern trading of scarring and tattoos can be traced back to these practices of ancient civilizations. In the modern world, scars has nothing much to offer. We consider scars as unwanted nuisance. Most of us try to remove scars, especially if they are on the face or somewhere others can see, but we cannot remove all scars. While you can indeed treat some scars, others are permanent marks to remind us of the incident and create them in the first place. Of course, nowadays with the kind of technologies and systems available, there is reconstruction surgery, plastic surgery, cosmetic surgeries that are available to replace these scars or fix these scars. Today is also commemorated as National Tight Ends Day in US. This year it will be celebrated on 22nd. In American football or arena football or Canadian football, the tight end is a position of offensive team. Tight end is a position that combines elements of both offensive lineman and wide receiver. They line up on an offensive line like offense linemen and have the size and strength to be good blockers. On the other hand, unlike offensive linemen, they are capable receivers who draw the attention of the defense when returning pass patterns. The tight end was once considered to be a little importance in the passing game back in the 1950s and 60s, and even in the 1970s and 80s. The tight end's primary responsibility was to block the quarterback. The rise of the tight end position throughout the 1940s and 50s is intimately linked to the demise of one platoon system. Today is also commemorated as Newport Wales Marathon in UK. It is one of the Wales' most anticipated races. This race, which takes place as one of the Europe's flattest marathon tracks, has become a fixture of Welsh running calendar, attracting thousands of participants each year on a route that includes renowned landmarks such as City's Transporter Bridge and the breathtaking scenery of the Gwent levels, complete with this marine fauna and attract medieval villages. Over 70% of all finishers have claimed a personal best. So put on your running shoes, train, and tick off one of your goals, because we are getting ready for the Newport Wales Marathon. Today is also commemorated as Smart is School Day in US. Recognizes, appreciates, and celebrates being smart. For decades, mainstream media has portrayed smart people as being weird individuals with thick glasses and no personality. However, a smart person is so much more than a sidekick who only exists to provide some last minute advice. They are people with rich, interesting lives and stories worth sharing. The mainstream media does a poor job of portraying smart people. Oftentimes, they are used as punching bags, as shown as annoying know it alls. Smart kids are often made fun. They are called nerds and they feel they have to play down their intelligence to avoid being teased. There's so much more to being smart than topping the class or getting into an Ivy League school. Smart people are generally more empathetic, open minded, and funny. It's time to break the stereotypes. Smart is Cool Day is observed to change the perception about smart people. It's cool to be smart and it's fun to know things. Dedicating a day to all the smart folks amongst us is a great way to celebrate their gift. It also serves as a motivation for everyone to become the best version of themselves. The origins of the day remains unclear, but the case for celebration is not. Smart is Cool Day is a perfect opportunity for you to embrace the perks of being smart shamelessly. Today is also celebrated as Mahashtami. On the 8th day of the 15-day long Dashain festival in Nepal, and also the 8th day of the 10-day festival in India and across the world of Dashra. And this year it takes place on October 22nd. The Hindu community of the country in Nepal observes the day by honoring goddess Durga Bhavani, Dashain, as one of the most auspicious festivals in the country. Usually falls somewhere between September and October and is dated as per Hindu calendar. Throughout the festival, several manifestations of goddess Durga are celebrated. The Mahashtami being the day on which her true claim to power is achieved. Friends and families get together to celebrate the festival, and the day is marked with excitement, devotion across the Hindu community in Nepal and across the world. Mahashtami is part of the Dashain, that is Dasara, 10 days festival, the longest and most anticipated festival for the Hindus in Nepal and across the world. It is believed that on Mahashtami, goddess Durga proclaimed her true power and completed her transformation. Hindu devotees mark the day by offering prayers to the goddess Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati, which symbolize strength and prosperity and knowledge and respect. The shrines of goodness or the shrines of goddesses in Kathmandu Valley are decorated and devotees start pouring in early morning to offer items of worship and sacrifice. The festival is notable across the community due to its animal sacrifice. Most of the devotees offer ducks and goats to the goddess in Nepal. Those who refrain from animal sacrifices present other food items such as fruits and vegetables and so on. Other rituals of the day include a collective reading of Durga Saptasti, the scripture of goddess Durga, and the worship of weapons, machinery, vehicles, and all other assets of household. One of the most crowded places in the country of Mahashtami is Deshan Chair of human Hanuman Doka, a royal outlier in Kathmandu. Devotees from all over the country assemble for a special worship called Kalratri at midnight. Millions of Nepali Hindus await the festival with emphasis on family gatherings and rehabilitation of community ties. People from all around the world, the country and the world return to their hometowns to mark the day, and all shops, private places of work, educational institutions, and government offices are shut during the holiday. So, Nepal regression in 1951 AD, Nepal's constitution bans the preaching of Islam or Christianity and penalizes people who perform religious conversions. In fact, that is, a bad thing that is being promoted by certain religions, because it is also considered as disrespect to other religions. So the last theocracy in 2008, Nepal cedes its place as the last Hindu country in the world after the abolition of the monarchy in the country. Nepal celebrates the Mahashtami on the 8th day of 15th day long Darshan festival as per the Vikram Samvat calendar. Dashain, commonly known as Vijayadashmi or Vijayadashmi, is the biggest festival in Nepal and also in other countries like India. So homes across the Nepal light up with earthen lamps to honor the goddess on this auspicious day, just as Mahashtami honors goddess Durga, who extinguished the darkness of the world by harnessing her powers. You too can challenge the darkness in your lives by lighting a literal lamp and working for better days. Dashain wraps up spirit of Hinduism and is the biggest festivals for Hindus around the world. From nourishment to enlightenment and finally repentance. The observation covers it all. The week-long celebration is a great time for you to catch up on the whole, on some of the teachings of this religion. So book a trip to the Nepal somewhere between September and October and enjoy the country at its finest. From some of the finest tourist sightings to incredible action sports and of course the highest ceiling of the Himalayas, and the country has it all and makes an incredible destination for tourism. So it is believed that goddess Durga killed many other demons disguised as water buffaloes in her quest to end Mahishasura, the slayer of evil. Buddhists also celebrate Dashain in Nepal to commemorate Emperor Ashoka's adopt of Buddhism, bringing religions together. Holy Jamara, the yellow grass used in the rituals, is planted on the first day of Dashain and grows within 7 days, the magic of Jamara. Women are refrained from entering the room where the main Dashain puja is carried out, and it's mostly a mad celebration. Of course, women take part in the celebration in different ways, in various other rituals. The king's blessings, thousands of devotees used to gather at Kathmandu's royal palace to seek the blessings from the king before the dissolution of the monarchy. So goddess Durga ended the reign of terror by waging war against the demons. The festival symbolizes the importance of picking up the fight and winning the quest against all odds. We celebrate Mahashtami to honor the good fight and seek inspiration from the strength of goddess Durga and the triumph and win of good over evil. Dashain marks the biggest commotion in the country, with people traveling to their homes to celebrate the festival. Towns and villages are lit up with unmatched feature spirit, and devotees drape themselves with holy teachings of Hinduism. It brings people together. According to the Hindu mythology, goddess Durga was summoned to slay the demon Mahishasura, who wreaked havoc on God's residence. The 9 days leading up to Vijayadashmi, the 10th day of Dashmi, marked the manifestations of the battle between goddess of the demon, and is on Mahashtami, the 8th day, that she receives her full powers. Today, weapons, modern day, even laptops, mobiles or computer systems and various other machinery are also clean and worship, because they are the source of livelihood, and they are also the source of workplace and where the work actually happens. Their safety and proper functioning is very much essential for smooth functioning, and also their safety. People also pray that they do not cause any troubles, they do not cause any hazards or disaster while functioning. So this is a day to express gratitude and also honor and also take care of our machinery. So that's why in many places even we see that today there is no work done, and the entire tools, machinery, and devices, equipments are uh, serviced or maintained and cleaned and kept for the rest, so that this day, because they are running entire 365 days 24 by 7, today they are given rest so that they give us success and prosperity, wealth, health, well-being through their use and our work associated with them. So today is also commemorated as National Nut Day in US. It was created by Liberation Foods Company to encourage the public to choose healthier snack options. It was important to the company to stress to the public that their nuts were not only sustainably grown, but the company was committed to giving their nut farmers a fair minimum wage for their labor and their crops. Farmers growing Brazil nuts, peanuts, cashews from Malawi, Brazil, India, El Salvador, and other third world countries came together to form a fair trade collective under Liberation Foods umbrella. So National Nut Day appeared in 2015 on Liberation Foods website. Although the company is based in the UK, this holiday has spread far wide and especially in the United States. The day is devoted to all things nuts related, including recipes, cooking tips. Many African countries infuse their daily meals with peanuts on a regular basis in stews and soups. According to the Nutcracker Museum, nuts were a regular part of human diet as far as almost 8 billion years ago. Early man used nutting tools to crack stones. Pecan remains 6,100 BC and were discovered in Texas cave. Early Europeans ate pistachios, while Greeks and Romans believed that walnuts were gifts from the gods. So no matter what you eat today, include a healthy helping of nuts. They have lots of healthy benefits and make you happy. That's important to remember. So with this, we shall end these commemorations of the day. Thank you everyone for joining us, and happy Durgashtami to all of you. May the goddess Durga bless you with health, well-being, and prosperity. And we wish you in advance for tomorrow's Mahanavami and Dasara, Vijayadashmi in advance. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same link. Before you leave, we request everyone to fill the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. See you all tomorrow. Once again, wishing you happy Navaratri and Durgashtami and Mahanavami and Dasara.